Sup nerds, welcome to the Omni for Game podcast. I'm Sean, and this is Chris and Brandon as always, and today's episode 8.
Hey guys, recap for today. We're looking at our locals recap for pre-release. We have an angry movie recap, very heated discussion. We talk about power creep in the game, consistency cards and their effect on the meta, and we even have a surprise topic from Sean. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and stick around for more episodes just like this.
Alright, first topic, locals recap.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy week to go through locals recap. It's pre-release.
Pre-release.
So everybody's,
My favorite
everybody's playing
format.
amalgamation. No decks are truly made. It's just whatever the heck you get. So some people got really lucky, saw a lot of ace cards. Some people saw 0. Some people pulled 6 Digitama. Some people pulled 1. There's nothing really you can do in this format except try to hope that you pull the best cards. There's still some skill involved, but
There's 100% still skill involved.
yeah, 100%. Like if you don't know what the ace cards do, you're actively nerfing yourself. But it happens. Some people come to pre-release and they haven't been to a tournament in like 4 weeks. What are they expecting? But as far as my rounds went, round 1, I was doing some trolley stuff with Ebamon, but we ended up going to time, so that was an easy draw. 1-1-1. Round 2, I got bodied. Round 3, I got bodied. And then round 4, I ended up getting a win, so I didn't get very high placement. So we'll
what
save
place
Sean
did you
for
get,
that.
Brandon? What place did you get?
Oh, dude, it was like 8th or 9th.
You forced me to tell you when I went like 0-3 one time.
Well, people need to know the other side of the content.
Yeah.
When you play Perperial, you expect, Perperial results.
Yeah.
So next I went X2. My only 2 losses are to Sean and the eventual first place winner, Ben. Yeah, like Brandon said and Sean said, pre-release requires some luck and some skill. Like, you still have to open up very well. Like, I opened up 6 Tama, Brandon opened up 1. Like, that you're immediately at a disadvantage at that point. Some people, like Ben, open half the Lugamon
The
deck
entire Lugamon
Yeah.
package.
and just pop off on you. So when I played Ben round 1, and he immediately opened Numamon into Satsu, the Commandramon Tamer, I wondered how many of those cards did he pull? Just those.
Just those
One
2.
of each. He was just playing the 1-1.
Yep.
And he opened both of them on me. Immediately, he's at a 2-card advantage, turn 1. There was no memory choking him. He couldn't be at 1. He was always going to be at 2.
If you don't have a
was like-
Digimon.
Right. Well, yeah. But I'm going to have to play stuff,
To play around it, yeah.
play around it. So,
Like having to play around Sora Joe, it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
and then he just Finra Lugas me. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
The best card for me, all of pre-release, that's Seraphimon, Marine Angemon.
You opened
was
2
pretty
Seraphimons.
Yeah, for
Which
real.
is
did.
really good in pre-release.
Very good, but guess what never happened?
You never...
I never, ever got to take advantage of his security attack +1. Never. No one was giving me more than 2 to 3 memory. If I Digivolved in Seraphimon, it was passing turn.
Passing turn.
Never. I never got to use that. But if he did stay on the board, the little combo with Marine Angemon, like bouncing him back and then being able to keep doing it over and over again was pretty good. Because -7K is no joke on
Mhm.
pre-release.
Yeah.
But I also got to give a shout out to the Vademon and the. I wish I'd opened up the Ebimon, but the Vademon was so good. There was one game I think against Mel where I Digivolved into the Vademon and he hadn't seen a level 3 yet. Like his Tama had been hatched, but he wasn't seeing it. I Digivolved into the Vademon. He revealed his 3 cards and what was right there.
All rookies.
Aww.
All rookies. Sent those straight to the bottom. And you're de-digivolving something, which also hurts a lot in pre-release.
Yeah.
Just hard to recover. So, yeah, it was pretty fine throughout. I'll let Sean talk about our game because God knows he's
You'll never hear the end of it.
I'll never hear the end of
You
it.
won't.
All the smoke he talks about Leomon because Sean's a fake fan. He doesn't understand.
I'm not a fan. I'm a certified hater. I hate Leomon.
He doesn't understand.
Hate.
Leomon is the certified GOAT. Everyone knows about him.
I thought he was a
knows
lion.
He is the certified lion. Okay, so I'll let Sean talk about it.
All right, so I think a lot of skill is involved in sealed, despite what the naysayers be naysaying, you know.
Yeah, so skilled with my one Tama.
Tamas don't
All that
matter, man. You can just play something in the raising during your breeding
All that
phase.
draw power I'm not getting.
I
Yeah, you don't
opened
draw.
3 Tamas, I opened 4 Tamas.
That's 3 more than me.
Okay, whatever. Skill issue. I was really excited to play this.
He can't draw.
It's one extra
have to-
card. It's not a big
I have
deal.
to spend memory to draw for Evo.
Juan, how many training cards are you playing in Shine Greymon right now? How many did you message us and say?
I think I actually ended up cutting it back to 4, but it was 6 at one point.
Yeah,
It was 6. And why? Why were you playing those?
Because they're good.
Because consistency is good.
Exactly, it's 12 extra cards.
Anyways,
Okay.
I was really excited to play this format because Blastace in pre-release format, you can blast on top. You can blast Evo on top of any color because color restriction. So like you pull any Blastace, it's immediately live.
Yep.
I pulled
There's a lot of
zero
jamming level 4s.
Blastace cards. Really disappointed about that.
Also 0.
Yeah,
All 3 of us didn't pull any.
yeah.
Like 2 people in our entire tournament pulled 4.
2 different people pulled 4 Blastace cards in their pre-release decks. Crazy.
Ridiculous.
They did not come in top 4, I don't think. Round 1, I played against Mel. Dude, over the course of the pre-release, I got Vedamoned like 5 times. Like it was it was really annoying. Mel did it to me like 3 times, I think. So
One of
Mel,
those cards I wish I would have seen.
yeah, I ended up winning in turns versus Mel 2-1. The game that Mel took from me, he decked me out with Skull Satamon. He just milled the last couple cards in my deck to pass turn. Round 2, I played against Ben. Our game 1 took like 30 minutes, or like maybe even 35 minutes. Like it was super long and grindy. I almost decked him out with Skull Satamon, but he played around it and he had 3 cards left in deck rather than 2. I probably should have scooped like way earlier. Game 2, I brutally beat him down. Like he started with a 7,000 DP ultimate that had his mind linked Tom underneath, and I promoted and evoed into Seraphimon and just DP reduced it and just set him back, and he just lost from there.
Why didn't he unmind?
Because he didn't think I could out it immediately. Because this was like turn 2. That was my second turn of the game. I promoted and evoed into Seraphimon, and
You gotta know. If you're 7K within range during pre-release, as soon as I read Seraphimon, or just us talking about it on the podcast, I said, I can never have something with 7K out.
Yeah,
by itself.
if they have the ability to go into a mega before like passing turn, or like as they pass turn, like yeah, you should definitely be playing around that, because Seraphimon was a rare.
Yeah.
Game 3, we had like 3 minutes to get through, and almost got there. Very, very close. If we went into time, and I wasn't able to close it out. If we had not gone into turns, if I had scooped game 1 sooner, I actually would have won game 3, which kind of sucks, but that's my fault. So me and Ben drew. And then round 3, I played against Mario. I won 2-0. Mario was somebody... the only person that blast-aced me all night was Mario. He blast-aced me. Blast-evoed me game 2. But it was the turn I actually killed him, because I had set myself up for like checkmate. It's like even though he like cleared one of my dudes, I still had enough for lethal. In round 4, I played against Chris, and I won game 1, and he was ahead of me most of game 2. Like he was getting to the point where like I was probably gonna lose.
I was playing so smart, or at least
You
I
were,
thought I
dude,
was.
you were playing so well, and you
Five
were like
heavy.
being real careful. Like I had one security, you had a mega on the field and an ultimate on the field, and I just had a rookie and raising. And you gave me 2 memory, and that's what I was hoping you would do. And I promoted. So his mega's suspended and his ultimate's unsuspended. I promoted my rookie, evoed into Leomon, go to 0, swung into his suspended mega, warped into Saber Leomon for 6, unsuspended Saber Leomon by suspending his ultimate, swung over the Seraphie for 14k, piercing 1 check, and then end of turn swung over the ultimate for another security check, and just I set him to like 6, but it didn't matter because I cleared his board and reset his game state, and I just had a mega on the field.
And he just sat there like, I will never financially recover from this.
Yeah,
I think the best part is I don't think I had saw the Leomon at all. Like, you just never went into it. I had no idea it was. I knew about the Saber Leomon, but I had no idea that you could have gotten there from there because I didn't know you had the Leomon.
Just didn't know you were about to get hit with the 1-2 punch of
the
death.
Yeah.
the Leomon Wombos just stole that game. I did not have any right winning that game, but Leomon came in clutch. Card still sucks
Yeah.
though.
That's a anime pro tag moment if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah. So me and Ben both ended up 301, and he won due to tiebreakers. So he came in first, and I came in second. But I still got a playset of Grandma X's. Let's go.
Yeah,
Who
go
got-
ahead, show them off. Show off the bling.
They're
Who
in my
got third and
backpack.
fourth?
I guess I can pull them out real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, you gotta show the fans.
Brandon, who got 3rd and 4th?
Caleb and Mario. I
So
think other way around. No, I think Caleb was 3rd, Mario was 4th.
yeah, Caleb was one of the people that pulled 4 Blast Ace cards.
If
Which-
that's the new strategy to start getting higher placings, I'll just start dragging my matches on.
What are you talking about?
Why get a
Bro.
loss? Why get a loss when I could tie and get 1 point?
I mean, but then you still wouldn't.
Play
Better
better
than
and you won't
loss.
take losses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? What was your record, Sean?
301.
Ah.
Yeah, so he never had a loss.
okay.
Yeah, remember that time I thrashed you with Leomon?
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got hit.
Going in my grandma decks, very excited about these.
Yes, finally all foil.
Yes. Thank you, Bandai. Praise be Bandai.
Yeah, so I actually got also hit by a pro tag moment, but I was the one getting destroyed by it. So in my entire 40 count pre-release deck, I had 1 card in the entire deck that is 1000 DP.
Shout
It
out
is
Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the security Sukamon. He plays himself out from security, and Caleb, he had the blue option card that would unsuspend your body, and he had to swing with a level 3 because I had stunned his other 2 bodies with my blue option card, the Marching Fishes. So he had to have this rookie without jamming because he had the Tama that would give him jamming, but I had the inheritable that would strip his sources.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, I'm kosher. He dies to the security check. I win next turn. He swings security, hits the 1k DP in my security. And the rookie's 2k. I got
Caleb
pro tag.
popped off.
Dude, I'm telling you, he went, yes!
It
And I was just like,
it interrupted
So,
me
hey.
and Chris's match because we started laughing about it because we heard because he's like one
Me
table.
and Sean agreed. I was like, you know what? If there's one person I play against that I just don't mind popping off on me like that, it's Caleb. I don't know why. I love playing against Caleb.
It's the innocence. It's the innocence.
Yeah, he is. He's one of the best people I like playing against. Like, it's just like always good vibes.
Yeah.
And when I heard him, like, yeah, go Caleb. Way
Yeah,
to
he-
go. I
he
don't know.
gets-
I
he's
don't know
like-
what happened, but go.
he gets the most unnecessary crap at our locals for no reason.
Yeah, he really does. I don't know why.
I love.
I don't ever
Caleb
give
so
him any.
much.
Maybe it's because he keeps playing Nokia in his Greymon decks. Maybe it's karma.
Yeah. Or
Take
he
Nokia's
like
out.
he knows Death X is in Mario's deck, so he just slams more Tamers games too, and then gets Death X even harder. That was the one time I said something to him, but I was like, dude, you need to know better. Like, that's not how you play around Death X.
All right, so listen, let's go to the next topic.
All right.
We for America, we got the Digimon O2 movie. We had 2 showings. We had one Wednesday and we had one Thursday. Wednesday was the dub, Thursday was the sub. Now listen, I don't normally expect too much from these movies, especially after the mess that was Try, where it just was all over the place. Like I love the animation. Don't get me wrong, beautiful. The all those movies are awesome. We finally get some Digimon like Alphamon, Jessmon in these movies. You know,
The rest of the kids getting their level 6.
right? So I was wondering how they were gonna follow up Try
And
Into
Evolution.
into Last Evolution into this, because they brought the O2 kids back. And if you've seen Try, you know, for some reason TK and Kari weren't with the O2 kids because they're not real they're not real friends. They were hanging out with their old friends.
And the
And for
O2
some
kids get
reason-
bodied.
They got
And you never
bodied.
see them again.
They get bodied off screen and then locked away. Doing what? Who knows? Who cares? We don't know what's going on. So then we get Last Evolution. None of it got addressed. So we're like, okay, weird, cool. Then we get this movie. And I'm like, okay, maybe we'll get some of that addressed. Maybe we'll get some answers. No, instead, they decide to give us not Digimon, but Traumamon. This is no longer Digimon. This is Traumamon. Okay? This movie is so horrendously bad when it comes to Digimon. There's no new anything. Okay, the animation, cool, beautiful. Love the way it looks. I'm glad they got to bring back some of the voice actors. Don't get me started on Wormmon and don't get me started on Armadillomon. They're bad. Okay?
Armadillomon.
No, Sean. This
High
one was
pitch.
bad.
Like,
was
take Armadillomon and like crank the pitch up by like
even higher.
Yes.
Armadillomon.
they're
Yeah,
much closer. Yeah.
yeah.
I
So-
unfortunately wasn't able to attend the movie, so
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
because you injected. I'm not going to say. I'm not.
Yeah,
You got Emily sick. So, anyways,
she got herself sick. I don't get sick.
yeah. So, and shout out to the movie, the employee who was working at the movie theater who traded me a Wormmon for a Vmon. Shout out. So I have 2 Vmons. Yeah. He said, hey, we're just looking for a Wormmon. And we got a Wormmon, and he had a Vmon. I said, you want to just do it for the Vmon? He said, yeah, okay. And I'm like, you have no idea what you're doing right now. And
I mean,
shout out to
they
you.
clearly
Activated my
just
trap card.
just wanted like one of all of them or something.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
People are
No.
super big fans of Wormmon. Wormmon
Yeah.
is a very big following. There was a person in the theater with this big of a Wormmon plushie. Like, you can't see my hand, but it's down here. They had that thing in its own dedicated seat.
I mean, I respect it. I think Wormmon is the least insufferable Digimon from season 2.
He's literally an abuse victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
So,
legit when
okay.
when he evas in a Stingmon. Like he has a. I like
Yes,
his
agreed.
and Ken's
yeah.
character arc.
Stingmon's
Yeah, it's
awesome. No, like the whole dynamic between Davis and Ken and how they're the partners who DNA. It's awesome because Davis is the only one that decides to trust them, and so it makes sense. Okay, so that's cool. That's good storytelling. Let me
Yeah.
tell you what's not good storytelling.
This
John, they try to actively rewrite all of the lore for Digimon.
All of it.
All of it. Okay, so do you remember in Try? Because you've actually seen Try, right?
Yes, very good movies. I enjoyed
Okay.
all the Try
Yes.
movies.
So do you remember in Try where we get 2 characters, Daigo and
Maki.
Maki?
Yeah, mhm.
Okay, they clearly state that they were some of the first Digidestined. That Tai and them were not the first ones, right?
Because they become the 4 great sovereigns who lock away the Dark Masters.
Okay. What if I told you? No, they're not.
No, they're
That's
not.
a lie.
It was all a lie.
Nope, that's not them. No.
So
Did they just straight up say they were lying?
No. Okay. So let me get into
No.
this. Let me get into this. So this is heavy spoilers, by the way. We're getting straight into the spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie and you want to see this movie,
Don't.
go for it.
I
Don't
mean, they
pay
have
money
to
for it.
illegally watch it now because I don't
Yeah,
think it's
don't
all
watch
paid.
it.
for it.
No, don't
So,
watch it.
What they
Support
do,
it, but buy the movie, rent it, just don't watch it. Support it, because we want to support Digimon.
No,
we want to support Digimon.
we can't
Just
support the
don't
bad
watch
product.
it.
Don't support the bad product. So what they do is they have this movie character. The cliche movie character does cliche movie character things, and the fact that they are now retconned into being the most important character in the entire franchise. So this character, who, by the way, I'll get into it in a little bit, has the worst backstory of any Digimon character, period.
Are you going to tell us who it is?
Yeah, I'm about to. And they are just like, it's so mishandled. Their name is Louie. All right. Now, when I tell you, Sean, look at your camera, look at me. We're locking eyes through cyberspace. This man has a Digimon eye for an eye.
What do you mean?
His eye is his partner's eye. Like, imagine you had an Agumon, and you ripped out your Agumon's eye and put it where your eye is. Why do you think his hair's covering it? Why do you think his hair's covering it?
This is what happens, Sean, okay? At this point, we're like 20 minutes in the movie. I think it's all right. I'm like, okay, this movie's not bad because they do some time travel, right? They some time travel.
We're already losing him.
Yeah. So there's time travel involved, right? We see Davis, Ken, Louie go into the past. Okay, we're seeing Louie's backstory, right? And this whole time, Louie's all upset. He's spaghetti. He's all emo, whatever. Okay?
He's being very standoffish.
Yeah, he's basically said, I was the very first Digidestined, and I killed my Digimon. So we're like, okay, I'm interested. Let's see what happens.
That's a plot. Let's go for it.
Yeah, they time travel, right? We get to see the past. We literally see Tai and Kari when they're children. Right?
From the original movie. So immediately, what do you think of? Who do you think his Digimon is?
I haven't seen the original movie.
Okay, so have you ever seen the Diaboromon one where it's like there's a Greymon fighting a Parrotmon?
You mean like from the original season? Like season 1?
Yeah.
I remember when Tai and Kari were children, they saw a Greymon
fighting. She blows the whistle to wake him up.
Okay, but anyway, so
he smashes a soda machine.
It's all vague, dude. You're going real specific on me.
Okay, so there's technically the lore behind the Digidestins, or at least the first couple kids, is they all witnessed.
Yeah, they saw a Digimon, right?
Yes, they saw a Greymon. This very specific fight, a Greymon and a Parrotmon fighting each other, and the Greymon in the movie viciously murders this Parrotmon. I'm talking about rips its wings off, tears its arm off, and then explodes it with Mega Death.
Uses his horn to stab it through the jaw.
Yes.
Now, you don't get any of that with the English version. If you're going to see it, go to the Japanese version. That's where you get the uncensored stuff. That's good stuff.
So we're immediately thinking, because we see little baby Louie, right, running behind his mom, and then literally we see Tai and Kari cross their paths. So immediately, I'm like, oh my god, his Digimon's Parrotmon, he somehow
accidentally forces it to Dark Digivolve.
Right, to Digivolve into the Parrotmon, which starts the fight with Greymon. That's why he thinks he killed his Digimon. Oh my god, it's perfect. It makes sense. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. It doesn't do any of that.
Nope.
Any of that.
It just becomes retcon the Mon.
Yes, he literally becomes the first Digidestined, and his Digimon is so powerful, Sean.
As a level 3.
As a level 3. So powerful. His Digimon, based off a wish
it's a genie.
Louie, created all Digidestined
from
all Digimon.
From that point.
From that point, Digidestined were never a thing. Weren't a thing until Louie wished for more friends. Because his parents, his dad is comatose, and his mom is
viciously abusing him.
Viciously. On his birthday, locked him outside because he accidentally peed himself because he's only 4 years old.
And he's being abused.
She takes his clothes off. There's bruises all over him. All over him.
It's the most sadistic thing I've ever seen.
You can't take your kid to come see this. It's crazy.
It's not a kid's movie.
He peed himself. She locked him outside on a little balcony, and it's snowing.
It's snowing.
And because
you have a 1 minute scene of him sitting at the door begging to be let back in.
Right?
Like just yelling into the door.
Like going on way longer than it needs to.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting here like,
Yeah, what the hell's happening? So then the Digi-Egg shows up, right? Okay? And it hatches. Okay? And it makes like one little line note where he's connected to Yggdrasil. We know he's connected to Yggdrasil.
Well, they don't specify Yggdrasil. It's very clearly Yggdrasil.
It's gotta be. So then Louis just goes,
This guy.
he's this little 4-year-old goes, I just want friends. I want to be happy. Then from boom, that spot on, he created all Digidestined.
He creates him a Digivice out of snow.
Yeah. So strong that he basically starts Digimon.
Yep.
Okay? Then from then on, Louis' life goes on to be perfect somehow. His dad wakes up. His mom starts treating him better. His birthdays, he has
getting
friends. Okay?
Sounds like he died on the
this
outside.
You think that'd be a better twist?
That would be a better twist. This Digimon's so strong, it can completely puppet everyone around and everything he ever interacts with,
Yeah, you're starting to
making
cut out,
his
bud.
Yeah,
life.
you chopped up on there.
Oh. Did I?
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think
it's your
you're
mic. It
probably a
just
little
it
too
seemed like
loud.
your internet or something.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably talking too fast.
You're
But
getting
anyways,
excited.
So his Digimon
Dude,
starts
it's real
puppeting
heat.
all the people in his life from that moment on.
Oh, it's controlling
everyone-
them?
It's controlling
Oh,
them.
everything. Sean, it doesn't make sense because Tri told us that Maki and Daigo were tamers before them, and they're older than these kids. And Louis is the same age as Tai.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't
how
make
is
any
that
sense.
possible?
It's not.
It's not.
So-
Oh, go ahead, Brandon. Explain to him how he loses his eye and gains his Digimon's eye.
Okay, so 8 years pass because they make a very big point of this because he's born on a leap year, so he only gets his true birthday every 4 years.
Yeah, you rolled your eyes there, didn't you, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they make a big deal of that plot point. They have
Your
always
birthday's
celebrated on the 28th,
Yeah, your-
but every
Your
4
birthday's
years
on
they
March
celebrate it on
1st,
the 29th.
And what are they watching on the TV, Brandon, that starts all this?
They're watching the Armageddon versus Omnimon fight.
Guess what timeline doesn't make sense? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't line up.
It might have been 12 years. Was it 12 or 8?
I can't remember, but I don't think the time matches up with how
I don't
much
think
time
it
has
does
passed.
either. It could. We might have to do some research, but anyway, so he's watching the fight, and the little Ukamon, that's the little guy's name, this little Jirachi clone, no, is it Celebi?
Yeah, good call. It is basically Jirachi, the Wishmaker.
Yeah, whichever one it is. Little clone decides to tell Louis, like, oh, see, those are your friends. I made them for you. And he's like,
Armageddonmon's literally destroying the city.
yeah, killing Omnimon. Like, and Louis like, what do you mean those are my friends? You're making them fight? And yeah, Louis, they're for you. They're your friends. I made more kids like you. And
Who
he's
wrote
like, that's
this?
just you wait till I get to the abuse. The worst part of the abuse. So, because it does get worse.
I feel like I
So,
would have walked
Louis-
out of this movie.
If I didn't pay money for it.
Those churros were so good.
We got some theater churros. Those were the highlight. They were
So
filled
good.
with chocolate, and then you had the dipping
Oh.
icing. Best part of the theater experience.
Best.
So anyway,
10 out of 10.
So Louis is like, hey, I didn't want this. This is not how I wanted these things to play out. And Ukamon's like, oh, really? I mean, I did this for you, though. This is for your happiness. And then his mother gets home, and his father. His father gets home and auspiciously collapses. And you're like, oh, no, he's probably got his sickness back. No, Ukamon just, I guess, wasn't focusing on puppeting the dad. So the dad's just collapsed. Presumably dead. Like, I don't know how to explain this, because they don't go over it. Like, you don't see the parents ever again.
Nope.
After this flashback, you never see the parents again. The mother goes in there, she collapses next to the father. And then Ukamon's like, oh, sorry, here are my puppet tendrils now. It's now a horror film. Picks up the parents and goes, oh, we're a happy family. This is what you wanted. You've always wanted this. And Louis like, oh, hell no. I am now old enough to realize this is really messed up. So he pulls out his Digivice and says, you told me this symbolizes our friendship and our bond together? Sets it on the table. Now, to be fair, his Digivice is special. Like the little antenna. It's a Gen 1 Digivice.
Mhm.
No, Gen 2. technically the Gen 1s are the V-Pets, but it's the ones the original cast has. And his antenna, if you look at it, is spiked. It has a little spike at the end of it. He grabs a baseball bat and starts wailing on this Digivice on the table. And he hits it, and it ricochets off the table and just flies straight into his eye, impaling his own eye. So my man literally self-destructed his own eye, ricocheted it off the table into his own eye, and Ukamon's freaking out, like, here, have my eye. And just
Literally takes it out and just puts it in his face. It doesn't make sense.
Like it's a light bulb. Like, unscrews it like it's a light bulb and sticks it in the kid's face. And the kid's like, now he's got a Digimon eye. What?
I think people are being a little too nice when they say they don't absolutely hate this film.
It gets worse.
Does it?
Yes. Okay, so that's just the backstory. This is the backstory. We haven't got to the main plot.
John, do you think it would have been cool if Digimon, like, I don't know, Sylphimon or Shakuamon got, like, evolutions like Imperial Dramon does?
Yeah, if they got megas, that'd be sick.
Too bad.
Nope. No, you're not allowed. What if I told you that Gatomon digivolves into Angemon, gets smacked once with a tentacle, a hentai tentacle, smacked once, de-evolves, and goes, and then goes, hey, maybe we should DNA digivolve. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. Immediately after getting smacked out of the level 5 form.
One shot Angemon.
Whack. She literally barely gets sapped by it, and then GD digivolves.
Yeah, she gets hit hit against the building and then just falls. And just digivolves back down to Gatomon.
No new forms, no new attacks, no new Digivolutions.
The action in this movie was atrocious. There's no final fight. You're thinking, oh, they're going to have a final confrontation with this, like, evil Digimon who's very clearly trying to, like, puppet the world? No. Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode hits him with one, like, was it Giga Death, I think is the option card name, and kills it. It's dead.
No. I will say this. It was the most evil plot of all time. It literally, do you know what it was doing, Sean? It was literally going to spawn 7 billion Digimon. So every person on the planet had a Digimon, had a partner. And guess what the kids go? There's not enough food on the world for all those Digimon.
Yeah, imagine having to feed.
That was the evil plan. There was going to be so many Digimon, there wasn't enough food.
I mean, that is true, though.
Imagine trying to feed 7 billion.
That was the plot. That was the plot. That was the big guy's plan.
Because after...
No food!
After he traumatically loses his eye, Louis, Ukamon, in one of the most disgusting scenes ever, melts.
Oh my god, I forgot about
melts
this.
Like a candle, and then explodes.
He doesn't explode. He doesn't explode like into data, like most Digimon do.
He melts like a candle.
It was... Dude, you can't take your kids to see this. You can't take your kids to see this. It was like a horror movie. Like, melt. Like, his flesh is melting itself, and I'm like...
It's getting everywhere. It's on his face. Happening? It's bad. So
you take it
melts away, and then
you take it out of context, it looks like Louis took a facial shot.
This guy.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
So back to the plot. The Ukamon is coming back on his birthday because, of course, 4 years, leap year reasons, and is summoning a giant Digi-Egg on top of a tower in Japan, a very famous tower. I can't remember what it's called, and is hatching itself to become a giant kaiju version of himself, and then spawn these tendrils that spawn 7 billion Digimon. That's like encompassing the world, and Imperial Dramon one-shots it. Good action scene. He dodges a bunch of tentacles while Sylphimon and Shakuamon are like helping, and then one-shots it and it's dead.
But don't worry, Louis was able to talk to the Ukamon and was like, hey.
They had one conversation.
Yeah, they had one. Oh, we didn't understand each other. You only did everything for me, and I never really tried to understand you. And they're like, you know what? We're friends now. And then he one-shots it.
Kills it, so he can get a literal palm-sized egg, and like it leaves off on a I'm putting this in air quotes, positive note that Ukamon's gonna come back and not be a homicidal puppeteer that gives people Digimon eyes, which is gone, thankfully. He just has a scar over his eye, and I guess he just doesn't have an eyeball anymore.
So according to this movie, Digidestined are they're not because the digital world created them to help fight the evils or
Fight the Dark Masters.
Nothing like that. No. They are literally only there because Louis wished for more friends. That is what the lore is now supposed to be according to this movie. Because Louis wished for them.
It gets worse in the fact that, I'm going to get into that now, the trauma, okay? So, this is a PSA for anybody, if you are an abuse victim, I don't want to be that person, but having one conversation with your abuser isn't going to be enough. You're not going to break through them and turn them into a better person. Like, that's not how that works. And any media that depicts it this way is actively damaging. Because Louis time travels a second time, by himself this time, to the same day, his birthday, where he hatches Ukamon, stops his mother on the street as she, like, sprints away from her child. Because her child is, like...
Louis is 4 years old.
4 years old, and he's a good, like, 5, 15, somewhere in there, depending on how fast this little boy's running his legs, yards behind this woman. And she doesn't give a damn.
Like, she's sprinting home, and Louis like, oh my god, my mom's leaving me behind. Like, she was trying to abandon him.
Yeah, it's bad. So the adult Louis stops her and says, hey, I know what you're going through. I'm going through something similar, but your kid really loves you, and maybe, you should show him some of that love. And suddenly she looks at him and goes, oh my god, I have a 4-year-old! I've been such a terrible person! And then her entire life has changed. It literally cuts later to the same scene earlier where he was on the balcony, like, crying, but instead you can see inside the house, and she has magically baked this small child, who very clearly probably still has all those bruises on his body, a little birthday cake, and they're in there having a joyous time. That is the most despicable, diabolical, completely unhinged way I've seen a movie resolve character abuse, or, like, abuse in a movie. It's legitimately damaging. Like, that is a legitimately horrid message to put in a movie, that a simple one-sentence conversation can completely flip a person's personality to no longer be an abuser.
This movie sounds awful.
I was speechless. I legitimately was heated. The more I thought of it, and I was like, wow, they really solved the abusive mother, who should definitely not have her child anymore, who should definitely not be a caretaker, with one word, with one sentence. Hey, don't do that. Oh my god, you're right.
And the problem is the animation was so nice. Like, we got the best part, honestly, was like Davis, Vmon, and Ken, like, and Wormmon. Like, those four and their relationship. It was like the best part.
I have an issue with that too. If you take all of the O2 cast out and replace them with the archetype of their character, the movie doesn't change. What is TK's role in the movie? TK's role in the movie is to have one sentence where he says, hey, what if we did not that? And we instead did this instead. What would be the consequences of that? That's his character in the entirety of the movie. Yo Lee exists only to be a love interest to Ken.
You didn't like the part when Louis is calling Louis like, what is friendship? And Vmon's like, hey Davis, and Davis is like, yeah, what's up, Vmon? And he sticks his hand out, and then they shake hands, and he goes, that's friendship. And I'm like, go Vmon, let's go.
Little Brooklyn, New York of Vmon.
So yeah, the movie sucked. 0 out of 5. We move on.
Yeah, before I get more heated.
I was tired of hearing how bad that movie was.
It was Sean, you should have seen it. It was one of those times where it's like,
thankful I didn't.
Hey, like, but we got promos.
But Sean, you don't understand. You don't understand.
Shiny, they're textured.
I've seen a movie called Velocipaster on Amazon Prime. One of the greatest movies of all time. I would suggest that movie over and over because it literally lives. I will never forget these movies because of how bad they were. Why? What? You've never heard of Velocipaster?
It sounds vaguely familiar for some reason.
It's about a preacher who turns into a velociraptor and then kills the people.
Man, I
that
couldn't
killed his
imagine that was
family.
where I was going.
What? And he has a love interest and everything, and they're ninjas.
Oh my
Ninjas!
god, this sounds
I'd
like
rather watch-
Sharknado.
It is. It's of the same tier. I'd rather watch that than this Digimon movie again.
What, Velocipaster? You want to put it on after this?
No.
Ah,
No,
okay.
no. Okay, let's move on. Next topic. Let's go back to the card game. That's what we're here for.
I want a Velocipaster card game.
So, power creep.
All right, so a sharp 180 from what we were just talking about. I want to discuss power creep in this game because it seems a lot of people with the introduction of this set, BT14 specifically, are now getting up in arms that the power creep in this game is too strong. And I
What's the
fundamentally
key card?
disagree.
What's the key card everyone points to?
For some reason, it's Joe.
Yeah, it's Joe. No, because
People
it's
look
literally
at-
they're the same
people look
card.
at-
I mean,
People
he
look at
is a
a card.
legitimately like straight up just power creep version of his original card, but his original card was awful.
yeah. So
Yes.
if you guys don't know, BT1 is when we got the first Joe, and BT14 with 4 EX sets sprinkled in the middle, and we're at 16 starter decks later,
Yeah.
is getting a new version of that Joe with a slightly better effect. I mean, it is playable if you're playing Source Strip Blue.
It's still like okay. It's not even
It's
that
okay. And people are looking at that and going, that's too fast. That's too fast for power creep. What?
His first card wasn't even playable back then. Like that's always been a bad card.
Like, what does it do now? It actually strips a source on play?
Yeah, that's it. Effectively, if they have something to strip, it's a 2-cost tamer.
It's a 2 cost.
But it's not even that good. Like we still don't have like an actual good Joe or memory
Yeah.
setting Joe.
Like, I think the power creep in this game has been surprisingly consistent. It's been, like, there are certain sets that ratcheted up a little bit.
BT9.
Like, going from,
BT9.
yeah, I was going to say going BT8 to BT9. That's a pretty good jump.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Alphamon at full power. Oh, my God.
Well, it gave every single color an OTK strategy, which is like not
Yeah,
everyone.
which is pretty
Like all
nutty.
those colors were not supposed to be like that.
I just don't. Who was playing this Joe? Who was playing BT1 Joe? Who was like, I won't have it.
Joe
I won't
Mama.
have it. Yeah, like I won't have it. They're changing my card. They're making it better. They're
making
taking
it
this
better.
very bad card. They're taking this very bad card and making it
Semi-playable.
better.
Yes,
I won't have it.
semi-playable. It's
I won't
only
have it.
it's only playable now if you're playing like the pure source strip deck, which
And it's
isn't even that good. If
Yeah,
you're playing
they brought
like
Tommy back.
yeah,
Just play Tommy.
it's only good because it has the word Joe Keto on it. Because if you're playing that 2-cost option that requires you to have a Joe in play, and he's like, besides Soren Joe is the best Joe card, and it has
Oh,
it will
100%.
probably always be the best Joe card.
Until they give a Sora Joe-like effect to a Joe by himself, Sora Joe's the best the best Joe.
Yeah, he needs a memory setter. I think he's one of the only ones that doesn't have one. I don't like
People-
Joe, but
People also don't
Right.
understand why card game companies have to do this. They have to bring in people that buy the new stuff.
mhm.
You have to constantly keep evolving the cards, and it's unfortunate, but you got to push the old product out so people will buy the new product. Because let's be honest, there's only a couple cards from some of these older sets that you still play. There are just some very goated cards from those sets that were just so good from when they started that they haven't been replaced yet. Because if they make a better Tai Kamiya than the original 4-cost one, how good is that card gonna be? What if they come out with a new Greymon where instead of security attack +1, it's security attack +2, guys? Power creep. Yeah, it's crazy. You can't get better than that. So these bad cards that they need to make better are gonna get power creeped. Because guess what? One, they gotta sell product, and two, they gotta make these cards better.
Yeah, no one was
what-
ever thinking of putting that Joe in their deck. Even in 1.0 format, I can't imagine
No,
someone being like,
no
let me
one.
put this Joe in my deck.
Yeah, it's just like
This Joe is
power
the
creep
truth.
has-
It's worth 3 memory.
Power creep has to exist. How many of you guys are going out there and buying bulk of these older sets that aren't just those specific good cards? Like
Yeah.
they're not playable. So you can't Bandai's got to make it to where yes, there are always going to be people who just buy the new set, and then you got to appeal to the people who are like, I just want to play the best deck. Like this
Mhm.
deck power creeps all these other cards. I want to play that. That's what I want. So you got to appeal to both people. Yeah, power fantasy, and then the people who are fans who just want to buy the stuff and then play the cards.
Yep.
Like
Casual
people.
versus competitive.
show me a card game that doesn't power creep. Show me.
They don't exist unless they're dead.
They don't exist. Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Flesh and Blood. Like
Bruh.
what-
Yu-Gi-Oh is the worst example of power creep in a card game
Yeah,
I've ever
it's,
seen.
Yeah, like-
it's crazy. The game started with I summon one
I
card.
normal summon this monster and set one
I
card
normal
face
summon
down.
Dark Magician and attack your life points directly.
I
Good
activate
game,
pot of
man.
greed.
Now they're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna make an unbreakable board with 4 Omni Negates, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they also
challenge
have
you to
extra
break
link
it.
view, so
Did you open up Ash? No.
Ah.
All right, GG, bud.
Yeah, you lose, buddy.
Why do you think people like playing the older formats of Yu-Gi-Oh more than they do the newer ones?
yeah.
Yeah, because
But like
games
the
last
thing
more
with
than
Power
3
Creep-
turns.
the thing with Power Creep as well is, as a business, and I know people hate hearing that, they have to incentivize
Which
the
Bandai
sale.
is.
Yeah, they
So
are.
Bandai
They
is
have
a
to,
business.
They
they have
do
to
be business.
incentivize the sale of new product by making the new product worth your money. So if they printed a set, RB1, sorry, that was a weird cough, where nothing in it is competitively viable by itself, the set tanks. We saw the same thing happen with Classic Collection 1, right? Like
yes.
the only thing competitively viable in that was a tamer, and maybe the secret rare 5 sets later when it got 2 better
The
level
Machine
6s.
Gun. Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. The game is constantly evolving. We need to keep up with it. Like, I know your favorite deck, Gallantmon, sorry to call you guys out specifically, hasn't had very good support because they refuse to give it a protection effect. But get over it. Go play Greymon like Sean.
But
Play
Bandai,
both.
we want you to reprint these cards. We need these cards. Some of us are getting into this game late. Are you gonna buy the set?
Yeah! I'll buy 6 boxes day 1!
Sony, re-release Morbius. We promise we'll go see it. We promise we'll go see it. Okay, you guys asked for it. We put it out there. Morbius. No one went and saw it.
What?
Wait, did that movie get re-released?
Yes,
Yeah,
that actually happened.
Yeah, they trolled
Memes were
Sony.
insane.
They trolled Sony. Sony saw the memes were just like trending like crazy on stuff like Twitter and whatnot, and they were like, "Oh my god, people must want to see this movie again." So they re-released it, and then no one went and saw it
Oh
again.
my god. That's like
And there were follow-up memes.
that's like
There were
release the
follow-up
Snyder Cut, but like the opposite.
The opposite, yeah. There were follow-up memes where people were like, "Oh, sorry, Sony, we were busy that
Yeah,
weekend.
release it again. Yeah, one
We'll
more
come
time.
back. We swear, we swear."
I was washing my hair.
So like, do you? The 2 people who were playing that old Joe, were they like, you know what? The hell with this Joe. We're not playing it. We'll
The
show
literal
Bandai.
2 people.
We're not gonna play it.
We're not going to take this. We're not going to have a card 19 sets ago finally be better. Like, no.
Finally
Guys,
be borderline playable.
Yeah.
It's not like they power creeped a card that we just got that was already broken. It's a card that it's one of the oldest cards in the game, and it's been awful since it's been printed.
Like, imagine if the very next set, after, let's say, Blast Ace, an example, came out with a Blast Evo Metal Greymon that actually just took what the objectively worst Blast Ace card we've had so far does and immediately makes it 8 times better. like, oh hey, when blast evoing, this card will have security check +1 until the end of the next turn, not the current turn, but like the next turn, and delete anything up to a play cost of 8. I don't know.
So I want this card.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's still relatively balanced.
You get security check +1 on your next turn.
I'd consider
That's like
playing
that
that.
Metal
Almost like Atomic Inferno.
That's what that Metal Greymon should have been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would consider
You can
playing that
pop
Metal
a few-
Greymon.
Yeah, pop a few things on your opponent's board.
Just pop some
Cool.
bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are people also complaining about the Blastace cards and that power creep?
I saw a few small complaints about like specifically like Magna Angemon. They don't like how it's like pseudo removal on top of recovery,
I mean, it's
and
a yellow
such
card.
yeah, it's not only is it yellow, like come on, that's all they do.
Yeah.
They DP Mineg and they recover, but it's in yellow. Yellow doesn't inherently have many protections.
They
Like,
have
you're
none
gonna-
that I'm
yeah.
aware of.
You're gonna kill it, and you're gonna get 3 memory for free. Like, just don't play into it.
Yeah. Dude,
Like BT1 Magna Angemon's cool. He just generically recovers. This card is actually so fairly printed that it has a max to how high it can recover.
I think they did
And
yeah.
yeah, and it's based on what their security is at for their DP reduction.
Yeah, they did
If
an
you're
amazing
smart-
job balancing that
Yeah,
card.
if you're smart and you play around it, you're negging 2k, 1k.
Yeah, like
1k is the minimum.
you're aware that that card is in their deck. You know to play around exactly how much DP it can neg.
Yeah, so perfectly balanced.
I just thought of this. Do you know what meme yellow reminds me of?
No.
Call an ambulance, but not for me. Just like the yellow player is like, oh no, I'm at 1 security. Call an ambulance, recover 4,
Recover.
but not for me.
Yeah. Maybe when we get
Yellow
Jet back to
players in a
4.
nutshell. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
if we
Jet
get
at
Jet
4.
back to 4, oh my god, yes.
Give us Blastace hybrids. Do it.
Oh
Do
my
it,
god.
cowards.
That's
Can you imagine having
no.
a tamer and then just
No.
being boom?
No, Blastace hybrids would actually be a mistake because there's still minimal tamer interaction in the game. So like, there's no real way to play around those cards.
Hey, give it like
Blackboard.
8 more sets.
Black War Greymon never dies. Never.
I mean, he's
dies.
never gonna die. He's still like until they give us like way more tamer interaction. Like Black War's still gonna be like a meta deck just because.
Yeah.
Like anytime there's tamers in good decks, like Black War will be there.
What set did Black War come out? That one specifically? The good one?
BT8.
Okay, wait till BT18. We'll get a new Black War Greymon that's just that Black War Greymon, but with 1 extra effect.
See, I
It's
think
still slightly below Gaiomon
Do-
for, keyword the
When
name.
we get power creeped BT8 Black War, yes.
Yeah.
so. Like, guys, a perfect deck that I think it's kind of hard for them to like power creep. One, because like they'd have to go absolute bananas, but like hunters, like that deck's still gonna be very viable, right? I mean,
It
Unless
draws
you-
like 8 cards in 1 stack. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they play all
Yeah,
their
like-
tamers for free. Like it's that deck's really good.
People
Yeah,
complain
it's
that the
still-
Garu promo draws 1 continuously. They have like 8 different inheritables that just draw.
Yeah.
but no, but this
They
game's
just swing
too
once and draw
power
like
creep,
4
guys.
cards. Huh?
This game's too power creep. Come on, that deck came out a couple sets ago, and it could still win a lot of events.
What set did that come
saying
out
the
of?
same thing for Blue Flare, yeah.
12?
Blue Flare, yeah,
Yeah,
like
12 because it was a set with all the
Oh my-
pro tags.
Yeah.
that Joe. I now know why people are so mad with that Joe. Why play Kiriha and Christopher in Blue Flare? Just play the Joe.
Just play the Joe.
You don't strip sources
that's
in Blue Flare. What are you talking about?
Just play the Joe. Just play
It's all
Joe.
coming together.
Yeah,
It'll
all
be a
coming
long time
together.
before the best Joe card isn't Soren Joe.
Yeah.
Like that was Power Creep Joe. Soren Joe.
Like,
that card's still really good.
People think, like, for instance, people will think Fenriluga is going to be the most OP purple deck. But that's only because, A, it probably will be.
Yeah, I was about
and
to say
B,
because it is. It will be.
Yeah, and B, because all of you guys threw Impmon to the floor the moment one of your cards got restricted to 1. Like,
Yeah.
Beelzemon is still a very consistent, strong deck with Iron Mako at 4.
Unfortunately, yes.
Just pick that deck back up, guys. It's still very good.
Yeah.
No, don't tell them that. Don't pick up that deck.
Yeah, Lugumon is an example of power creep that I'm not a huge fan of. Them releasing an entire archetype they can just OTK you through 5 security from a rookie. That I'm not a fan of. That's literally, it was Alphamon, but they did it in 1 set instead of like 5.
Yeah. And then we get more support for it in like the next set.
I know,
We
which
get
is
a new level 3 and a
ridiculous.
new level 4. They're even multicolor, which is great.
They
Not
gave
like
that
80.
set like 2 different lines, and they gave that deck 2 different lines in 1 set, and then immediately released more support in the following set.
Yeah, it's
the
crazy because
only-
now I can actually play ADP in that deck now.
The
That's
only
crazy.
thing that gives me hope, and this is what I keep thinking of, the only thing that gives me hope that they're gonna do something with this deck, I would say somewhat relatively fast, is we got to remember what happened. Crossheart. We didn't even get.
We had it.
What was it?
We had it for like three
X4?
weeks. We had like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys got remember Bandai's quick to this stuff. Like if they see something's like that big a problem, they will answer very, very quick because
Tell that to the Japanese format.
They do it
Well-
for America, not or
Yeah,
I
they
guess
do it
Format.
I guess
We're blessed.
the worldwide format I should say,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
America.
So X4 got hit very like that deck was alive and then dead very fast.
Yep. They hit 2 cards out of it. They hit the Sunrise Buster and the X4.
Oh yeah, that's
And the
right.
thing
they did
is-
play
Sunrise is also
Sunrise.
future proofing, but
That deck was still very good, but everyone again, and it's FOMO, fear of missing out. Everyone saw that it got hit and said this deck's immediately dead.
yep,
Put it
nobody
down.
ever played it.
And then the people who did build it and played it were still getting
still strong.
still consistent wins. Like it lost a lot of its power. Don't get me wrong. Like it lost a lot of it, like a lot
If
of its
they-
steam. But it couldn't kill you. It couldn't kill you in one turn like it used to.
Yeah, if they
Yeah,
played
well,
a
it
Blackboard
was
player though,
required
they just
setup.
straight up lost.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you just taking an L.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Again-
Oh, you saved all these cards under one tamer?
Yeah.
Feels bad.
Sorry.
So like, there's still a possibility that if this deck comes out as way too oppressive, that it's gonna get hit. Hopefully,
The only
But then
reason I
again,
don't think it's gonna
play-
get
just play Ruin mode. What do we? I mean,
yeah, ruin mode legitimately shuts you out. It's actually kind of hilarious. Sean found his counter for this deck that he hates ever so much.
Nine Greymod's not going anywhere, guys. I mean, I don't know what. You guys think it's bad now? It's not going anywhere.
Oh,
We got
yeah,
trading cards now to add our tamers.
Ruin mode is the best level 7 in Shine Grandma. Don't even play burst mode. That card's not real.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't think Fenriluga's gonna get hit, like anything in the deck specifically. I just don't think it's gonna happen because if you look,
I disagree.
because I look at a lot of Japanese stuff.
Uh-huh.
It stopped topping. It just stopped. People put it down because Apocalypse was better. People just
Right.
took the deck and went, "Oh, you're not the newest toy." Okay.
Brandon, you can't do that.
I know.
That's
I
where
know.
you,
What I'm saying, like,
that's where you get trapped. You can't do that. Their formats are actively different than ours. Ours
Yeah.
right now
but the
is
thing
already.
I'm not saying I'm trapped in it. What I'm saying is other people are going to look at that and say, "Oh, Fenriluga passed BT15. Yeah, whatever. It's nothing. Who cares?" And they're going to put it down themselves. I'm still probably going to be playing the deck because I stick with one deck for 5-7 sets. Just what I do. Still have fully built blue Garu just sitting right there. But I mean, it's not something I'm going to do, but just people see these results and put too much stock in it.
I'm curious
That
how our
needs to-
format's going to shake up.
We need to have that. As a topic of the people looking at the Japanese format and then trying to predict our format based off that, because it's just not. It's never the same.
Especially
Never.
for this set specifically, because we literally have 2 cards, Tommy and Savior, who Japan didn't have access to anymore. It's
Can't
actively
even-
going to be such a different format.
You can't even go back to all the way to 1.0 and 1.5 because guess what America created? Mega Zoo.
We
So,
created like
Our
weird
format was
decks.
Yeah, and then the ketchup and mustard deck, right?
McDonald's.
McDonald's like
Ketchup and mustard.
our format was immediately
The
different
cheeseburger deck.
Yeah, because we were making these crazy decks where there was so little removal and so little interaction at the time, where hard playing a Mega for 10 memory wasn't a good play, because guess what was coming down next turn?
Level
Omnimon.
7.
And Omnimon was so good at that point that there was just no answer. When they would hard play a Plesiomon for 10 and put me to like 6 memory or 7 memory, I'm sitting here, I'm like,
Oh no!
I don't have an answer.
lose.
What am I do? What do I do?
I didn't see one of my 3 removal cards. I guess I
didn't see-
lose.
Guess what? I didn't see my 8 cost Gaia Force, right? Because there's only so many. Oh, Gaia Force. Okay. Here's a second Plesiomon or another blue 10 cost level 6.
Yep, deal with this.
Okay.
one.
Your best play was to go into your own Omnimon.
Yeah.
Their Omnimon. It better not have been Alter S, because Alter S wasn't outing it.
So,
That'd be
yeah.
like BT1 Omni.
So I guess that's kind of what on power creep, like guys, you just got to realize some power creep is good. It's got to help sell product, you know, and I think it generally can make the card game better.
And real
Because-
quick, this game is so healthy. Sean, what is your second level 6 in your OTK deck? For your Wargreymon OTK, what is it? People,
Yeah.
for people at home who are not looking at the screen, that is BT1 Wargreymon. That card, this many sets later, is still cracked. It's still
No.
cracked out of its mind.
But here's the
It's
thing, right?
still such a good card, and it was in the first official set.
I
Also
guarantee it
this card.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it started at Greymon.
I guarantee it right now. I'll tell you guys this, and I know you'll both agree with me. If those two cards were printed in this set, that Greymon would cost 3, and the other or the War Greymon would cost 4. Am I right or wrong?
Right?
Their effects are so good, especially the War Greymon. It would be a 4 cost.
They would probably have the caveat of this Digimon digivolves on top of a insert Greymon name for 3 costs.
Right.
Or something like that.
If the War Greymon evoed for 4, it would have to have Blitz.
It probably would.
You'd give it one more keyword.
Either that or give it the treatment of the secret War Greymon
The
from
secret-
BT14 and give it Blitz without saying the word Blitz.
Without saying Blitz.
Yeah, without saying it. And then you think that started at Greymon nowadays would be like 3 cost? On top of anything that isn't Agumon?
I think on top of anything that's not Agumon.
Yeah, it would have
cost on
it would,
Agumon.
it would have the little parentheses where it say Digivolve for 2 on top of Agumon.
I think
Agumon in name.
potentially, but if they did that, he'd probably also have another effect. Like he'd probably have like a Wind Digivolving or something.
He'd probably have an effect on board. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I could
Like
see
if
that.
you have a Tai Kamiya, you get plus 2,000 DP for the turn or something stupid.
Yeah, something like that.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure
I
that's what
could definitely
this
see
word
that.
is.
Like those two cards are extremely powerful, and it'll be
Yep.
a long time before they're not still good.
It's
Yeah.
hard to get. It's hard to because they can't ever never print another level 4 that gives an inheritable of security attack +1 while that Greymon is still around, unless it is so specific to that archetype. Because guess what people will do? That'll be
They're gonna
that'll
put
be
it in every
8
other
cards.
deck.
8 cards in your deck will be that Greymon and whatever that other card is. So unless they do something to that Greymon, which it doesn't need to be touched because
No.
it's such a not like balanced card, but it's such a fair card.
Yeah.
It's such
Yeah.
a
It's one
fair
of those
card.
things. It's one of those things where in card games, the earlier cards can sometimes be more powerful than modern cards because they will have simpler effects, and those simpler effects will lead to less drawback. Like the fact is basically just a straight security check +1 with no additional like steps required. Like look at Secret Rare War Greymon. That thing is, I tried it in pre-release, guys. It's garbage. You get raid for 1 turn. If your opponent doesn't have anything on the board, you have no effect. And if you don't have a tamer, because again, pre-release, I didn't have any tamers, it has no effect. It's a vanilla.
Oh, you have to have a tamer to
Card
get
is
the
bad.
security attack +1 and the piercing, don't you?
Yeah. It's
Oh
bad.
my god, it's so
You have to
bad.
play-
That's
You have to
even
play
worse.
into your worst matchup. You have to play into your worst matchup hunters by putting a tamer out on the board just to get your effects. You have to
Yeah.
play into your worst matchup.
That card sucks, guys. That card's a trap. Don't play that card.
Yeah.
Secret Rare War
but I
Greymon
can
is terrible.
But But Sean, I can warp Evo.
Okay, if your opponent plays into it, and then you're just gonna warp Evo into it and pass turn.
But what if I have BT12 tie on the board? I can gain a memory, make him 3.
I mean, still, who cares? That card's really bad.
It's bad.
That card's so.
It only has
underwhelming.
raid for 1 turn.
I think no. I guess
Tommy-
you only get raid when you Evo. You just get security attack plus
Yeah.
1 and piercing every turn.
It's a win digivolving. You get raid. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you may attack.
They were so scared to make that card good. They're a little.
That's an
scared.
example of anti-power creep. They actively made the card bad.
They gave us a secret rare War Greymon that is. I don't even know if I would call it top 5 War Greymons we've had in the game. I don't even know if it makes that list.
BT5 won over this one.
I seriously want
Yeah.
I want people who watch this or listen to this to comment down below and tell us, are you playing that War Greymon over any of the other War Greymons? Does this card, you look at this card and go, I've got to play this.
Does this
Like,
make
seriously.
it into your deck?
Yeah.
BT12 and BT1 exist. Come on.
Yeah. What other ones do we have?
We also have the EX1, which is... we have the promo that came in the packs that has tie on the art, and it's all special.
I honestly might want to play that one over the
With-
new one.
BT5...
With all the with all the X antibody cards and the way you can stack these stacks now, give me the starter deck War Greymon over this.
Ooh, yeah. Additional security checks for every 2 sources.
Yeah, that guy I would want to go into because I could just kill people.
See, it's crazy, too, because Yu-Gi-Oh! I hate bringing this card game up. They did something called retrains. I don't think they were the first to do it, but they take an old card and they make a new card based on that old card that just make the new card better. So, like, if they would have taken the starter deck War Greymon and made a BT14 better version of that card, where it gets a bunch of security effects and just made it good, you have a playable War Greymon.
If they just given starter deck 1 War Greymon Blitz, I think that would be lit.
Yeah. Like, Sean, I know you hate when I bring this up, but BT15 Metal Garu
I don't know what it
is
does.
a legitimate power crept version of the original starter deck Metal Garu. He unsuspends, he has evade, and he has a warp evo effect. He's just a better version of the starter deck Metal Garu.
That's so
one of my
stupid. They
favorite
gave
cards.
it evade.
Yeah, they gave it evade. I love it. It's like that's
Is it
one of my
level 3?
favorite cards in the entire. Huh?
Is it a level 3?
You mean Evo for 3?
No. Like, because it has evade, right? So, like, the new thing is to
Oh,
get level 3.
Is it one of those blue rookies they gave evade randomly?
Oh my god! I actually I can't remember who this was, so I can't call anybody out specifically. But in our pre-release tonight, somebody said, "If I attack security with this rookie with evade,
No, they
and
didn't.
I hit a
No,
body.
No, they didn't.
can
No.
I use evade?" And it's suspended.
Read it. Read
Oh,
everything. So
I can't remember who it was. But
I was-
legitimate interaction.
I
Like,
was
no,
trolling
no.
in the pre-release, and
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Brandon. You have a good memory. You know exactly. You don't want to say anything, and I understand.
he knows
I'll
who
put
it
in
was. Though
DMs.
you're saying
Yeah, I'll put it in the DMs.
he doesn't want to put him on blast.
I'll think on it.
I-
I'll rack my brains on it.
I think I was playing against Ben, and he DP minus my rookie with evade, and I was trolling, and I was just like evade, and then I could just
Evade.
put it in the trash.
No, that was like when I played Ben. I had the Monzimon, the new one. And it's like if it has Monzimon in any game, security attack +1, and I had Saber Leomon, and I swung at him, and I was like, it's this big, and it has security attack +1, and he's like, it doesn't have Monzimon in name. I literally picked up. I goes, yes, it does. It's right there. See Monzimon, and then put Saber Leomon on top, and he couldn't tell if I was joking or not. I'm like, Ben, it's just one check. Just one check.
Just one.
Judge.
Separate interaction, all right? Because you said the DP neg, and it made me think of it. I couldn't tell if the table next to me was actually joking or not, but they went, "Can I evade when they hit me with the?" Because there's the inheritable in the set that gives neg 2k DP. Like, can I evade the neg 2 DP? I looked over and I said, "Yeah, you can evade it," and then immediately die. 'Cause
I'm
you're
actually
still
not
at
even sure
0
if you
DP.
can try to evade.
No, you can't. It just dies.
Because it's like a rules processing thing. Like, I don't think you have the chance to try
Yeah.
to evade. But
As
even
soon
if
as
you
you
do,
get zero,
obviously it
you're
doesn't
dead.
work.
Hold on. I could understand that though for like some newer players. Like imagine there was like a player there who hadn't like played too much or doesn't know that interaction. Where like
Yeah.
I could understand where it's like, oh, if they do 2000 DP to my 2000 DP, the Digimon gets destroyed, so I can evade it, right? Because evade says if your Digimon will get
And then you
destroyed,
suddenly just don't have the neg 2 DP.
like I could understand that like, oh, okay, it's evading the destruction. They don't
Mhm.
understand if it Digimon hits 0, it just dies.
Yep, dead. Hard dead. No choice.
Yeah, like I could understand that kind of confusion where it's like, oh, okay, just like with like back when armor purge became a thing, and it's like the
so many
DP
people had
goes
a
through
problem.
the armor purge the Digimon because it's still the same Digimon. So of course, whatever was you were purging off of was also dying.
Yeah, they can purge, but it still dies.
Yep.
Yes.
You're actively losing your stack because you purged.
Yeah, I remember when armors
Sorry.
got announced, and I was like, dude, yellow's best deck. This is these cards don't even matter.
Yeah.
That was when Lord Nightmare was still at full power. I was like, please print these armors.
Imagine you got Nightmon, the promo we just got during that format. Oh,
Dude, so many upsetty spaghettis. People hated that deck already.
oh my god, this
No.
thing's like Argomon. It just spawns bodies during
People-
both turns.
People hated Spiral Masquerade. That card was hated.
Hated.
That card was so
All
good.
right. So what
Final
was our final topic?
All right. Consistency boosters.
This is real short. They're very good cards. Play them in your deck at max. Okay. Do you guys like your
More-
good cards? Do you guys like
more-
your good cards?
Do you want to see them more often than you otherwise would?
Sean, in your deck called Lord Nightmon, do you want to see Lord Nightmon?
I would really much love to see Lord Nightmon as often as possible in my Lord Nightmon deck.
You play cards that get you to that, right?
I do my absolute
Oh,
best to
oh.
play cards that let me see. I've always been a big proponent of consistency boosting cards.
You
So,
like
Sean,
cards
I'm gonna-
that you like cards
gonna
that draw
play-
you cards? Play them.
Yeah, I'm gonna play into what the true crux of this argument is. I think those cards are too good and definitely need to be banned. Thoughts? Thoughts?
Yeah, that was an actual take that we've seen. People think that they're probably going to get limited randomly. I'm like,
Yeah.
Why?
People legitimately think well, I say people. It was one person thought the training cards were so OP that they all needed to be banned. All 6 of them. Just ban them.
banned or
They
limited.
were a mistake.
It wasn't just that one person because people were commenting on that thread and saying,
Oh, I stayed away from it. I saw that and I went,
I skimmed
I'm
the
done with
thread because
Facebook
I was
every day.
curious how many people were just like ethering the OP just to be like, oh, you're dumb. But no, it
People were
was
agreeing?
some people were like, yeah, but I don't think so. Like
But
I don't
guys-
think they'll get hit.
But guys, Pot of Greed is banned in Yu-Gi-Oh! It draws you 2 cards. But guys, guess what? The training cards, you have to pay something to play them.
you have to use
Guess what?
resources.
Guess what doesn't require resources to play? Pot of
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Greed!
The game of Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah,
does not
Yu-Gi-Oh.
require resources.
The resources are literally the 5 cards you start your hand
Yeah,
with.
cards in hand are the resources for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Did people complain about I legitimately don't remember this. Did people complain about the memory boost cards when they first came out?
I'm pretty
Oh, yeah.
sure it was the same discourse. Was people
Okay.
were like, "Oh, these are too good." Like, I don't understand the
ones-
argument there, even the thought process. Like, why would
Yeah.
these cards are not inherently broken? They just boost the consistency of any deck you put them in, assuming it's the color of that consistency booster, and it just lowers variance for your deck. How's that broken?
They're balanced out of security too because you don't get their on play. You don't get a
You just get the
search out
delay.
of.
Yeah.
You just get the delay. That's
Yeah.
it.
And
It's like
the thing is with these cards specifically, the memory boost or the colored memory boost versus the colored training cards.
Well, it's 2023.
Like,
I don't
I-
think you can say that.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Okay.
yeah. There is no color for me in Digimon. There is.
I
only
don't
Digimon.
see color.
Okay, so yeah, I just play rainbow decks like pre-release.
All my
style.
decks are
My
gray.
opponent just, my
Yeah.
opponents just have to deal with it.
What color are you playing today? Gray.
Gray.
I play the color that's
Greymon.
in the bottom right corner of the color wheel. or of the circle, I play the bottom right corner.
Oh
That's
my god,
my-
yeah.
That's my deck.
That's actually a cool thing that they did to include people that are colorblind.
Yeah, good
Now you-
move, Bandai.
Yeah,
Nice accessibility.
yeah.
Now give us Braille on the cards too. That'll
Oh my
be
god,
perfect.
textured braille, dude. That'd be lit.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be so
But as I was
lit.
saying, like with the memory boosts, I don't think the discourse was as harsh because people could clearly look at the downside of you're only grabbing Digimon, like you're bot decking your tamers, you're bot decking your options.
That was the biggest issue.
Whereas I think I think the problem with the training cards that people are seeing, which is a non-issue, is the fact you can go training into training, into training, into training, but it's like at the same time, who cares?
the fact that they made it to where you're delaying to activate the effect to Evo for cheaper is what, like, those cards are extremely well balanced.
That's the
You can
next.
only use one per. You can only use one per Evo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You can't stack them.
That's the next balance thing about that too. Is it's not like with memory boost cards you would activate it and then you could play like a tamer
Mhm.
or an option card. You can only do it to Digivolve.
Yeah.
And that Digimon has to be on the board. You can't do it in raising area,
No,
correct?
no, you can't.
So,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
the problem here?
Those cards are extremely well balanced. Like
You have to
I
promote and play into a board.
yeah, it's the unfortunate drawback of I consider it a drawback. Like I don't
Yeah.
think like
the mem boost you can do in the raising.
Yeah,
Because you just pop it, you get the memory, and then you can Evo.
yeah, like in certain decks that I'm gonna build for BT14, decks that aren't reliant on tamers and or options, I'm still playing memory boost because I think they're better.
The balance part of the training cards is you can add whatever you want, but there are restrictions. The memory boosts are the same. You can only add Digimon, but you can use your memory however you want. Like,
Yeah.
There's a give and take.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just unfortunate that these people see a card that is genuinely good for a lot of decks to increase their viability, and they think it's too much.
I could see people having a problem with it if they weren't so easy to obtain. Like if these cards,
They were like
We're
$50
super-
promos or something.
yeah, were like super hard to get. Like only certain stores got
Pay to
them.
win
and
aspect.
yeah, it was like for a store championship, only the winner got.
Oh
like,
my god, like
one
crush,
of
like
them.
OG Crush Card Virus or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
like
that
if these
I would
cards were
understand people being
super-
upset about that.
Yes, if these cards are super hard to get, but the fact that they're a box topper and you don't just get one, you don't get two, you don't get three, you get all six in one pack from one box. These cards are gonna be super cheap, super accessible for everyone. Like I could understand if the card was hard to get, if the memory boost cards were hard to get, but they're not.
Mm-mm.
They're so easy to get. They're so fair and balanced. You have no reason not to want to play them unless you just were like, you know what? I want it to be harder for me to get to my cards. And then this is the same person who was like, this card game needs a mulligan.
Which is a consistency boosting
Yes.
aspect of
Yeah.
the game.
The
Never mulligan and don't play any consistency cards if you guys don't like them. There you go.
Yeah, go back to the Stone Age,
Oh
like
my
BT1.
opening hand.
Yeah, Sean, we went through the retro format for 1.0 and 1.5. It felt real bad. How did we play the game?
Yeah.
How did we exist?
Dude, I had forgotten how bad it was not having mulligans.
Yeah, like just having to hard play a level 5 turn 1. That's why people played Monzemon. That's why people played, what was he, Groundramon, whatever it was
Mhm.
called.
Yeah, ground.
That's why they played him. That's you had to. You didn't have a
Dude.
choice.
God, back in the good old days when you played vanillas unironically.
You had to, yeah.
I remember so much you would hard play. I would hard play my level 5, and then I would digivolve into my level 6 like the following turn, and someone would immediately answer, and I'm just like, I've lost this game already. I've already
I'm
lost.
This
It's over.
game's over.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here's my Gaia Force. Okay, go ahead. And it's just like, I have 8 memory. Yay! What do I do?
I don't
What
have
do I
any,
do?
I don't have a line in my
I-
hand. I can't do anything.
I have no follow-up play.
And you know, another thing about these consistency boosting cards is a lot of them have outplays as well. Like we have floodgates, we have access to these cards that can stop your opponent from using them. The only downside is some of them also stop you from using them. But like I don't understand the complaining of having cards that increase the quality of life of this game.
I don't
It's
either.
genuinely baffling.
I've seen some of the arguments which don't make any sense. They're like, this is going to make the good decks better.
Yeah, it
Make
makes
all
every deck
decks
better.
better.
Now
Makes
my
every deck
homebrew
better.
jank is
Raising
going
the
to be
ceiling for
even worse
everybody.
compared to this good deck.
The only cards, not cards, the only decks that are not having the ceiling raised with them are the decks people are actively hating on, like multicolored decks, like
Multicolored deck.
Cross, like Hunters, because I've seen a lot of hate for those decks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bringing the ceiling up for everybody that's not them. And I
Yeah.
kind of feel bad for them, but at the same time, I don't. Because
No.
Yeah, I don't feel
eight
bad for
variables to
hunters.
draw ones, but
I think cross
Like,
decks are
just-
kind of degen, but
yeah. I mean, you literally built a Ragna OTK deck based on a cross. Yeah, we know. We know, Sean.
yeah, that deck's degenerate AF. I think. I think
Yeah,
the
here, hold
cross
on.
mechanic is super degenerate.
Hold on. I think I have it on the table. You guys waffle about while I try to find it.
I
doing
want to
a bit.
give a shout out to one of our biggest supporters, Josh. He wanted to play me on the sim earlier. We played one match. I knew he was playing Commandramon, and I didn't really think about it, so I played Blue Hybrid. All of his Commandramon would come out with no sources, so my Joe and Sora
You're
farmed
evil.
the hell out. I didn't think of it. Okay,
You
And I
farmed
know-
him.
I know Josh is gonna listen to this probably tonight or Sunday,
You-
and
You exposed him to probably the absolute worst matchup imaginable in this format.
that's what I said. I'm sitting there literally playing, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, oh my god, this is such a bad experience for him right now. Like,
You
I
should
didn't
look
mean-
at that man and
You
tell him,
blue
hey, this is gonna be
hybrided
the
him.
worst.
He hasn't played
I
in
just-
months.
And I felt so bad. Like, I would like hard Evo into my Zudomon to bounce his stuff. I wouldn't even blast daze him. Like, I wouldn't even set him up or nothing. I'm like,
Hard
let me
play it.
just do this now. Let me just do this. Well, and I felt so bad. Oh my god.
Okay,
I
so
was like,
I found the card for the bit.
ah.
It's Ragna. Hold on, what does this card do?
Yeah, what's that do?
No,
that was
what
helpful.
the better gag would have been if you would have grabbed a stack of the commons in there with Ragna and then just set them and be like, okay, so game.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I can't do the super clean like stack that Sean did. That thing was
Oh, he does this. I've got it
grabs and
memorized.
just does this, and it's so clean.
I only do that with Alter S because with Ragna I actually just count them out in stacks
Grab
of
the whole
4.
stack and just
But with Alter S I just slide it out. But I used to play Chaos and Yu-Gi-Oh, so I got really good at fanning cards because I was always looking at my graveyard.
you know do what Ben does and like make like a Venn diagram of 5 cards.
I do that sometimes when I'm playing certain decks in this game, but no, I never did that in Yu-Gi-Oh. I would always just fan my graveyard whenever I was looking because you never cared about the count, and I think this game cares about the count with a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, consistency boosters are way better. Like
Yeah,
the more we
I
get,
agree.
the better the game gets. The less the less variance we have in the game, the better. It's always going to have
It's
variance
also-
because it's a card game, but the less we have, the better.
Yeah, it's also really nice to have generic consistency boosters instead of archetype specific consistency boosters.
Yes.
Because me and
Yep.
Sean can attest, we're still playing BT5, Agumon, and Gabumon. We're still playing them.
Mhm.
Because they're very, very good consistency boosters. But that's archetype specific. With these training cards, everybody can have it. Every deck.
This-
Everybody. Unless you're D-Reaper. you
This
can't
is
have
my
it if you're
rookie
D-Reaper.
lineup for my Greymon deck. All of these guys search more dudes. Every
I just
single
don't
one of them.
understand. I just don't understand the people that wouldn't be okay with these cards. Like, are they just not going to play them?
I don't.
Oh, they're still good. They're 100% going to play.
I don't. I think these people probably just have bad takes. Like that's like their full time job is just bad takes.
Hey Sean, we're twinning. I finally got him.
Yeah, you got the glare on it too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Trying
starting to.
pick up the.
I'm starting to
texture.
think that I might like the event pack one over this one.
Really?
Yeah,
I got both, so I mean, we both have our options.
yeah.
Maybe I'll be super degen and I'll play one of each different copy.
Please don't.
Because it also has the silver background for the for this card. It has the Cyber Sleuth alt art, And then the event pack in this one, I can play one of each.
Please don't.
Just to upset you.
Also, guys, fellow Greymon stands, these 2 cards that are currently not holo, we get holos of them in the new tournament pack.
Yes.
So basically, every Greymon deck is able to be like fully hollowed out now. I don't think there's a card you would play that isn't hollow in some way.
Like for my Garu deck, I actively went out of my way to get the RB1 promo Garu because the original printing of the promo was like
Shiny.
foil. Yeah.
They put a little hairspray on it.
Yeah, they hit it with a little gloss primer. Called it a day.
Oh, wait. That actually just reminds me, I want to rage about the, hold on.
I was actually saying.
We're going to add an extra topic here.
Oh, yay.
okay.
Surprise extra topic.
New BT14.
If y'all were hoping for a shorter
Short
episode,
video.
yeah, and no,
It's a
Sean
podcast.
said no.
The BT14 third anniversary survey pack cards, the box toppers, are
crime.
common.
A crime against humanity.
They are like the
Listen,
ace cards look
no.
like fake cards.
They look like
Guys,
fakes. Yeah, they look like you
okay.
bought them at a bootleg thrift store.
I was so disappointed when I saw Nightmon pulled out last night, and it was common.
Listen, I agree.
Peasant?
Listen, I agree. These cards should have been foil. The Tamas are also very weird. They're foil, but they're not like the cool foil where they have like alternate backgrounds. And
Yeah,
stuff
they're not
that.
like
They're literally
like this, like a box
Yes.
topper.
they're not like that.
No,
they're just
they're-
shiny.
They're pre-release
Just
without the
like-
pre-release
they're just
stamp.
like the,
Yeah,
they're just like the here,
they're
I have a
worse
really
than-
good example.
They're worse than the pre-release stamp.
Oh yeah, they're like
Lot the
BT11
difference.
hollows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So also
one's silver.
that's very weird. I don't know why they did the Tamas like that, but they did give us the in-training cards all foil.
Yeah, the training cards are at least
I'll give them
foil,
that.
and they gave
Thank
us
God.
one of each in each box. But I was extremely
We got-
disappointed with what they did with the other 2 packs.
I agree it's disappointing, but we did get 3 promo packs and like
In the
what is
box.
it? 8 extra cards per box. So I mean, like it's disappointing because I agree, Sean. When I opened up that Diabormon and I was like looking at it, I'm like, this looks like something I printed out of my printer.
It looks
Like, as a
counterfeit, or
proxy
like
card.
yeah, you printed it out to like play with it early as a proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I was
I don't
like, this
That's
is
exactly what it looks like. It looks like a proxied card.
I don't understand why they couldn't do what they did with the gift box cards. Like, for instance, instead of giving us something really cool like this, where it's an all blue card,
Uh-huh.
they're giving us this, which is the silver border. Like, if you guys don't know, the starter deck Weregaru is getting the gift box treatment when BT14's gift box comes out.
I did not-
nobody
So
knows
these-
that because no one cares about that card.
Yeah, I did
There's
not know
Greymon
that.
card. Yeah, Greymon card in there too. But
Which
yeah,
one?
it's
Oh, there
replacing
is?
my
Which
pre-release
one?
copies.
Which one?
Which one?
Which one?
Which one?
The bad one. The
Idiot.
starter
Is
deck.
it from the starter deck?
deck.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna play.
Yeah, starter deck.
Ah,
I don't think there's a single card in the starter deck that I'm gonna put in a War Greymon deck.
I mean, yeah.
They're all black.
The black starter deck really didn't do anything for you guys. You guys already had the BT12 set, which just did what the black starter deck does, but better.
Yeah, if they'd made those dual colors, red and black, then I could play them. But like all my consistency fix cards, I can't play in that deck because if I put those in my deck, it's red and black, not red/black.
Yeah. Like, I'm having a really big problem building Garu before EX5 because I don't think I can play the consistency boosting cards because I don't have any multicolored Garu cards. So,
Mhm.
feels real bad.
One day.
One day. Like, if the starter deck 16 would have been multicolor, oof, I'd have been eaten. Would have
Remember
been eaten.
in BT6 when we got the first anniversary survey pack cards?
No.
You don't remember that box topper pack? It had the Vmon, the Upamon, the Terriermon, the Phoenixmon,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Angelomon.
Yeah.
That is what they should have done. I
Those
don't.
things are pretty.
Yeah, they're beautiful cards. They're fully textured alt arts.
Man, now that you said that, I'm even more disappointed. A crime against humanity.
Yeah, like they couldn't.
are Are these cards coming out in something else?
I hope they are, because I'm really mad that I'm going to put a common Nightmon in my
Are
Lord
they-
Nightmon deck.
It would be
Hold on,
cool
are
if
they-
we got an
are-
announcement later that we're getting like alt arts for it. That'd be cool.
Are they promos, or are they just
Promos.
like early version, like an early card out of another set?
No, they're promos.
They have a P.
Yeah, they're
a P and
they
then
are
a number.
promos.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna have that common Diaboromon for a long time,
You know what I'm excited though?
and that common Rusty.
I'm excited that we're
Makes
getting
me not wanna
Christmas
play it.
cards.
Exactly. What'd you say?
I said I'm excited we're getting those Christmas cards.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. What
Yeah,
comes
I
in
think
the
about them
Christmas set?
daily. You get 3 automatically just for participating.
What comes in them?
You get a Christmas Tentomon, a Christmas Patamon, and a Christmas Gabumon. And then the winner card is Christmas
Agumon.
Agumon.
Which Agumon is it?
I think you're going to be upset. It's the starter deck.
Which one?
You know
The
which
new
one.
one.
Oh,
You
the
know
new
which
one?
You know which one.
Cool. Guess I'm not playing that card either.
But it'll look cool in your binder.
It does look...
It will
Very
not
nice.
because I will not own that card.
Yes, you will.
If
It's
I win it-
adorable, Sean.
If I win it, I'll try to sell it to somebody who thinks that
is-
card's good.
I want it. I don't want it because it's good. I want it because it looks cool. That's the whole reason why I traded for that Altar Agumon. I was like, I want it because it's an Altar Agumon. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. It's a little Santa hat.
It looks so good. Which pad is that? Is that the original starter deck one?
Yeah.
Got it. Oh my god.
They printed that Patamon like 18 times now.
They can't
Like
get
to
away
guess?
from it.
They're like,
Would
do
you
you,
like to guess what Tentomon it is?
probably the
Oh
starter deck
God.
one?
No, it's EX1.
What is that? Suspend
the
to 3K
common
or
one.
something?
When attacking, the next time one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with Insectoid or Ancient X Insect in its trait this turn, reduce the memory cost of that Digivolution by 1.
What a weird thing to make a when attacking effect.
Listen.
Gabumon's playable. It's the starter deck 16 one. Hey,
Listen.
listen,
Okay.
I'm eating. This card right here, this is going in all my... This is
I
going
love
in.
it. I love it. Listen.
I bet you it's
remember.
textured.
Remember
It's
last
probably not
week's
even hollow.
podcast? Remember last week's podcast when we talked about all those new green cards? Okay. And we talked about what it was going in. Literally tonight, Mel goes, I can't wait for this new set so I can put all these new cards in Bloom Lord. And I said, oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We
Oh
we
no.
knew it was going to happen.
I was like, that's the last thing. He literally told me, he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could just OTK through like 2 or 3 cards now. If played right. He's like, I get to play all my 4-cost tamers for free. Like, I get to do all this. And I'm like, that's just what Bloom needed. More cards
More.
to be faster.
Guess
Like,
what?
Come on.
Guess what I'm playing next week?
Blue Hybrid. Fine.
I'm probably going to play Lord Blackwar because I think it has a very good matchup.
Please do.
I think it has a good matchup like
That deck
across
is
the
so
board.
Fun. I was legitimately having so much fun playing against that deck.
Yeah, it's a
That's
really
a
fun
deck.
deck. It just
It
Power
requires
creep Bloom.
interactions during both players.
Yeah.
It's great.
Power Creep Bloom Lord. Green needs something. Give Green something for God's sakes that isn't Bloom Lord.
they need the Insectoid support. They need Tenomon to
Yeah.
have like a reasonable deck.
If the Tenomon stands their due.
Although any
They're
Insectoid support I
crying
think
for it.
supports Grand Coagumon if I'm not mistaken.
I just imagine
Well,
the
they've already
Bandai
hit it.
guys. The Bandai guys like creating these cards like, oh my god, people are gonna love this in Rosemont. The Bloom Lord players.
Yeah.
You thought.
Bloomlord being a plant fairy archetype. Just, yes.
Also, while we're on the
Yes.
alt art topic, Sean, I don't think you're ever going to play this because you have a better alt art. But this is also a new foil Greymon we're getting.
I love that. That's a cool art.
Oh yeah,
It's nice.
the EX1 alt art's way better. It's textured.
Yeah, exactly. This is a
Guys.
alt art you get for buying a pack set.
How we got to create a new altar for Greymon. How should we do it? Just make him look big and put him in like a wasteland, and he's doing some kind of cool pose. Boom, got it.
All right, write that down.
Yeah,
write that
that's it.
down.
That's literally description of.
That's literally it. Yeah.
That's what he'd be doing. Yeah, I think we need a textured version of this card.
Yeah, Yeah, the starter deck.
Yeah, if my camera will focus.
I mean, you could spend like a bunch of money to get the winner cards, right? From that big tournament a while ago.
No, that's BT5 Greymon.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's the BT5 Koro. Yeah. 'Cause it's actually the good Koro.
Yeah, sadly because Mirage is a deck and stuff, you can't really play that Koromon without risking like running into that matchup and just getting kind of blown out. So I've lately been playing the BT9 Koro for that reason.
And you know how you print money? All right, hear me out. Reprint the original 3 starter decks as look back at how far we've come, and make every card foil and give them all alt arts and like do some texture or something for like the big cards of the set.
Fun fact, that's pretty much already been done over time.
But I'm saying, like, release it as like a pack.
If I showed you my starter deck binder, most of those cards have been reprinted as holo and an alt art.
No, but these would be a different kind of holo, a different kind of art.
All those cards we haven't played in years.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of like how they redid the Tamer box option cards, but just put like a stamp like participant or winner.
Oh, the Evo box option cards.
Yeah,
dude, why? I mean, I think it was good that they did that because at the time all of those playable options were like almost $100. Yeah, but it was weird that they didn't just like give us a different art. They were just like, here's the same card just with a stamp on it.
Yeah, give me a textured Hammer Spark. Do it, cowards. Do it.
Yeah. There's so much going on.
Gaia Force.
Yeah, there's so much going on the Hammer Spark, and the art is so dark that I know that someone's going to be like, what is that when I play it this format? Because I'm putting Hammer Spark in my hybrid deck.
Blue Flare, yeah. Or
No.
why did I say Blue Flare?
I don't know,
hybrid.
dude. I have Blue Flare, but I don't know if I want to
Greymon's
play
on the
it.
mind, man. Greymon's on the mind.
Yeah.
You know what you need to do? For your little meta intro card right there that was only on screen for like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Big brain. It needs to say, Chris wants you to know how you'd like him to clear his board. Or something like that.
I like that. Wow.
Nice, John. What a hoe.
We don't even get an out. We don't even get a goodbye.
I know.
I always throw
hear
the
him
goodbyes
laughing.
in there. Wow. This
Wow.
guy.
You're not going to say bye to the homies? Whatever. All right, Sean. I'll be
right.
seeing you.
Later.
Don't watch that movie. It's bad.
I do not intend to. I wanted to cry when you wouldn't stop talking about it.
I won't sit here and take that kind of abuse from you people.
Why don't you go build Rusty, you pleb?
Why don't you get womboed by Leo again?
Yeah, why don't you get womboed by Leo again? That's another one.
Trash.
Add that to the list. Add that to the list. Chris still got womboed by Leo.
You got womboed by Leo by someone who hates Leomon.